we could say it's been the question, will he or won't he? I think we pretty much have known for the past 3 or 4 years. Governor Christie wants to run for president, and he's going to make it official today.
Yeah, he's expected to formally declare his candidacy for the presidency today at his former high school in Livingston, New Jersey. But with so many candidates vying for that Republican nomination, does the New Jersey governor have a chance? Joining us this morning in the studio, political analyst and Christie insider Steve Adubato. Great to have you here.
Good morning, Steve.
So does Governor Christie have a shot?
Look, if Donald Trump can be second in the polls, then anything could happen. I mean, I never thought that that would happen because I didn't take Donald Trump seriously. But those who count Chris Christie out, even though he is way behind in the polls, even though he's got a lot of baggage, underestimate this guy. Because if he gets in the top 10, if he, in fact, gets into these debates, and you compare him to what I consider to be an incredibly weak field, he will stand out in these polls. He is stronger than these people. He has more charisma on a stage. He is a better debater. He is more engaging. The problem is, can he get in the top 10? Can he get into those debates? Can he stand on the stage? Or have people said, your time has passed? It's a huge question right now.
Let's talk about that for a second. Your time has passed. 4 years ago, thereabouts, give or take, he was riding high. I mean,
very high.
Yeah, he had come off a pretty good first couple of years. He had struck a pretty big deal with Democrats in the legislature on pensions in New Jersey, which he said was going to save taxpayers. I was at that press conference. $140 billion over the next 30 years.
That was the plan.
In the interim, the state's credit has been downgraded a couple of times. He's missed some pension payments. The budget's kind of a mess. And he's been out of the state for about half, by some estimates, of the second term. His approval ratings today in New Jersey lower than John Corzine's were when he lost his re-election bid. Is that going to be a problem for him?
Other than that, here's the thing. It's easy to look back at 2012 and say that was Chris Christie's time. But I interviewed him many times on my public television program, and I asked him about that, and I have to tell you what he said. He said, it's easy to look at it that way, but it wasn't right for him. It wasn't right for his family. He was still in his first term. He wanted to run for the second term and take care of some things in New Jersey. You had the Sandy situation, Hurricane Sandy. The bottom line was he won. We forget this, Ben and Kerry. He won re-election with a huge plurality. He won Democrats. He won with a lot of minorities voted for him. Hispanics, blacks voted for him. He was riding high. It was the Bridgegate situation that was devastating. And while he wasn't directly implicated, those closest to him were. That is a problem. He's going to have to answer those issues on the campaign trail. The economic situation in New Jersey is a problem. The bottom line for this is, Christie, every candidate in this Republican primary, the 20, I don't know how many they're going to be ultimately, they have problems. But Chris Christie is so well known, people think they have an image of him, but if he gets on that stage, you see all those people right there, I have to tell you, they do not stand out. And the Jeb Bush thing, Jeb Bush was supposed to blow everybody out of this race with the money, with the name. That hasn't happened.
A lot of mistakes he's made, yeah.
And Chris Christie was saying, I think he says to himself, if Jeb Bush can't put this thing away, then I'm still in this race. And I'm telling you, John McCain was supposed to be out of it. When he lost his campaign manager and he lost his money, he stayed in. Way back, Bill Clinton was supposed to be done. He came back. Chris Christie could. Long shot, I agree. Lightning could strike. It's go big or go home for Chris Christie in New Hampshire. He could sell, but it is a long shot.
Let's talk about Jeb Bush, because by the end of the year, he's expected to raise $100 million. And because Christie's entering this race on the late side, only expected to raise about $20 to $30 million, will that hurt him?
You know, it's a funny thing, Kerry, about money, because money follows those who people think can win. If, in fact, Chris Christie catches fire in New Hampshire and people start paying attention to him and say he's on the Fox News debate and he does well and stands out and say, you can go from 2% to 4% and people go, wow, you increased by 100%, right. 2 to 4.
Well, when you got 20 people in the race, 4% is a pretty big margin.
Exactly, Ben. So here's what's going on. And Christie starts attracting some money. Things could happen. People start dropping out. Look, I am not saying this in any way says that he has a clear path to this nomination. I'm saying in a very crowded primary, I've seen crazier things happen, and all the money in the world will not win Jeb Bush this primary. Because I'll tell you what, there are an awful lot of people who are saying 1, 2, 3 Bushes, that's enough. And Hillary Clinton, she's a whole nother story, because she's got a lot of problems when it comes to a third, a quarter of the people don't trust her. That's a lot of people. Democrats, Republicans, and Independents. Everyone's got baggage in this race.
All right. It looks like, for the most part, Christie's best hope is New Hampshire, right? I mean, he's going to go there actually later today, we understand. Iowa.
I think he's taking up residence, but go ahead.
Yeah.
That's another story.
Right. Iowa, he doesn't have he might not be the best candidate for Iowa. It's New Hampshire. He's got to win New Hampshire, right? And if he doesn't win New Hampshire,
New Hampshire, either win or a very, very, very strong showing. If he's weak in New Hampshire, as I said, all or nothing. If he's very weak in New Hampshire, Chris Christie's one of those guys who says, look, no one's going to tell me I'm out of this race, but he's smart. If he doesn't do well in New Hampshire, I would be surprised if he tries to stay in much longer than that. But he's going all in New Hampshire. Like I said, go big or go back to Jersey.
All right. Well, Steve Adubato, thanks so much for your insight. We appreciate you being here.
Great to
I'm
be
sure
here.
we'll see you many more times
Yes.
before this is all said and done. Thanks, Steve. Have a good one. Have a good holiday.